Good afternoon, and welcome to this month's featured webinar on how to protect your fleet from accident, fraud, and litigation, sponsored by Protective Insurance. I'm Amit Jain from Roadz, the marketplace platform which powers the Protective Marketplace. Over the next 30 minutes, you will learn how GPS Trackit's AI-based connected camera solution can not only improve driver safety via in-cab voice coaching, but it can also help in predicting and preventing accidents. Also, the solution provides evidence in case of false accident claims. GPS Trackit offers this state-of-the-art, easy plug-and-play solution along with front and driver-facing cameras at a very competitive price point. To kick it off, Harry Stork from Protective will share a few thoughts, followed by a presentation by Jeff Alsop from GPS Trackit. He will give an overview of the solution itself. We will end the session by viewing the VidFleet solution on the Protective Marketplace. If you have any questions, please use the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen so we can address those towards the end of the session. Without further ado, Harry.
Thanks, Amit, and thanks, Jeff, for joining us today. We're happy to have another of our series of monthly webinars of our valued partners that have joined our Protective Marketplace. We're finding that the prevalence of dash cams continues to be an area that our clients ask us about over and over, and we continue to add strong partners like GPS Trackit to help bridge the gap with those needs that our clients have. So we want to thank you again for joining today. And Jeff, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Harry. Thank you, Amit. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. Protective, thank you so much for the invite here to talk through our dash cam AI solutions. And we'll go ahead and get started here. So just seeing right now is Protective Insurance Marketplace. We're now listed in there as a preferred partner. So I'm with GPS Trackit, like Harry mentioned. What we're going to kind of cover here today is our simply powerful video solution, which we've branded VidFleet. Now, a little bit of company background of who you'd be working with. GPS Trackit has been in business going on 20 years now, so longevity in this industry for sure. 150,000 active units, over 12,000 clients are currently signed up with us, and great reviews via Capterra and Shopper approved at a 4.9 rating for our service. All right, so we'll do a little bit of did you know. So I pull up these stats here, especially for Class 7, Class 8. 71% of large crashes are caused by distracted driving. That's some of the things we're going to cover today. Another 23% of accidents are caused by conditions of speeding too fast. And then truck crashes, injuries can cost up to $200,000 or more, a fatality incident up to $3 million per incident. So what we're looking to do here with our solution is curb these type of activities that can cause these issues. So we call it our 3 Ps here. So first and foremost is prevention. How do we prevent these things from happening in the first place? What can we predict? How can we coach drivers in cab? The protection angle. Once an incident does occur, what type of proof do we have at who's at fault? This is where we're starting into reducing fraud, reducing claims. So you have the proof and evidence that you guys need as a business. And then the performance angle. So as companies institute dash cams within their fleet, drivers become more accustomed to them. It's a psychological change, and it brings a more cognizant reality for the drivers and how they're operating your vehicles. And so that will lead right back and circle back to that prevention piece for your business. So let's get into that a little bit. So prevention, how do we do that? So some stats here. We've seen dash cams help fleet drivers reduce their collision rate up to 50%. Part of that is this in-cab coaching that we can offer. So what we do with that is real-time audible in-cab coaching for different events like hard braking, rapid acceleration, aggressive turns. Depending on the package options that you can get with GPS Trackit, we also have external ADAS for things like close follow, tailgating, forward collision warning. And then we can go all the way up to our Cadillac product, which would include driver AI for distraction and using cell phone, things of that nature as well. So You get instant alerts in the cab with audible notifications to the driver in plain English, as well as alerts on the administrative side, on-demand video playback immediately when those events occur. Let's kind of cover these. So feature, event detection. So we're going to automatically identify those risky behaviors through the camera and the events that occur. And then we're going to have that in-cab coaching to the driver so they get immediate feedback on what is happening. Unlike other vendors that just get an audible beep or notification in the cab, we're actually telling them exactly what event occurred, whether it's a hard brake, a hard turn, so that they're aware very quickly of any behaviors. So it goes into the broad set of harsh driving triggers that I mentioned earlier, from the driver safety events to the ADAS events to the driver in-cab events as well. This is tied back into our scoring. So not only we're providing this in real time for you guys from a video perspective, it's also affecting how drivers are scored, so you can have a broader, holistic overview of your fleet and address that driver coaching administratively as well. And then to help you manage by exception, be proactive, real-time alert basis through email or text for any of these events that we trigger with our AI dash cams. All right, what makes this a little bit different here? Let me get these loaded up. All right, edge versus cloud processing. So what we do at GPS Trackit is edge processing. So we are taking data samples 30 times every second with real-time decisions in the cab through our processor for those audible triggers. Whereas a lot of our competition, what they're doing is this cloud processing. So an event occurs, it goes up into an AI cloud processor or kind of a thumbs up, thumb down scenario, and then it's relaying that driver, that information back to the driver. So what occurs then is just some latency with those events and missed video. So based on some of the stats we've seen, you can lose up to 90% of pertinent events by a cloud-based processing versus edge processing. So that's the way we do it differently to make sure that you guys get the information you need immediately. All right. So this is a kind of an example of some of the things we do from the driver side of things. So drowsiness and fatigue, distraction, are you wearing your seatbelt? Advancing into recognition of enrolled drivers for driver assignment automatically to the vehicle, whether they're holding their phone, whether they're smoking, so on and so forth. So these are some of the higher level AI events that we can produce in cab with our DMS. It's a highly advanced sensor. And what's really nice about that sensor is once it's calibrated the first time, it continues to learn and adapt and grow with your driver as well, so that our accuracy can continue to improve in cab. There's another stat there of 71% of large crashes are caused by distracted drivers. We kind of covered that earlier as well. It's a big part of the prevention angle here for your business. All right, second P here is protection. So when an event occurs, when it happens, what we offer here is that proof and protection of who is at fault. So this is where we start getting heavily into the false claims and fraudulent claims. You guys owning trucking businesses are a driving billboard for this. And coming up here, we'll kind of discuss a case study we had with a larger beer distributor down in Florida. All right, so that proof angle. So a larger beer distributor down in Florida, 2 weeks after getting our dash cam solution, which is really good timing, depending on how you look at it. So what happened here was a driver claimed the beer truck merged into him, but there were no witnesses. This was a he said, she said type thing, kind of on a more remote highway in Florida. What really occurred is the motor vehicle driver, the small sedan driver, tried to pass the larger beer distribution truck on the shoulder, lost control on the shoulder, came sliding and slammed into the front side of that beer distribution truck. So immediately we have the trigger, we have an alert, we have the video captured, and it proved that the driver lost control when trying to illegally pass on the shoulder. And the savings from that specific incident, again, We spoke earlier about potentially up to $200,000 for injuries and incidents with a Class 7, Class 8 vehicle. That essentially paid for the entire solution of about 150 truck fleet, just by having that video proof of that incident. So that's real life, real evidence from one of our clients right after they signed up with us. Again, this is, we're on a protective insurance, presentation here. Cameras are really an insurance policy for when bad things happen, so that you have the proper proof of who is at fault. Little picture of our device here. Very high res streaming over our platform, extremely HD quality picture. And again, what we discussed earlier, really capturing what matters with the broad array of event triggers we have for our solution. Some quick snapshots of the platform. So this is all accessible via our web-based solution. We also have mobile app access for you guys as well. So live view from our mapping solution, and then a separate video folder that holds all the videos that we have triggered and downloaded back to our system. Amit asked me a great question earlier. How do we hold on to these, and what is actually in the cloud? So I want to kind of cover that real quick with everybody. Any video that's automatically triggered through one of our automated events is stored in the cloud indefinitely, available on our platform as long as you're a client of GPS Trackit. We don't expire those videos. We can favorite them. We can do a soft delete on those videos for you. And then we also have a fetch capability for the solution as well. So in the event it's a non-triggering event, you get a call in from somebody that says your vehicle ran them off the road, or they did this or that. Typically, we have between a week to 2 weeks of video stored on the SD card that you can go back and fetch if it's a non-triggering event. So you still have that option. You can also remove the SD card, and it'll have anywhere from 40 up to 80 hours of recorded footage if you need that from a claims perspective as well. All right, and then our final P here is the performance angle. Load these up. All right. So another stat here for you guys. Video telematics users see up to 68% reduction in accident costs. And the performance angle of this is we want to improve your driver's performance to limit the risky behaviors, to create that risk mitigation that guys like Protective are looking for. Seeing costs up to 15 to 30% through idle time reduction with our solution as well, lowering maintenance costs. These are some of the other ticketed items that we see fleets really looking for alongside the video telematics. What we're here today to do, lower insurance costs, depending on underwriting, and then help grow your business with our expandable hardware and our solutions that we offer. And ours is a simple all-in-one solution, guys. This is a full end-to-end telematics solution for GPS tracking, as well as video telematics for that prevention, proof, and performance angle, as well as asset tracking solutions as well for Class 8 vehicles, for trailers and things of that nature. And then just to highlight those things again, from a prevention perspective, from a protection perspective, and from a performance perspective, GPS Trackit can bring all three of those things to the table through our solution. For you guys in particular, it starts with the drivers. It starts with how they operate the vehicles. It starts with a psychological change in how they operate your vehicles. And that's that big prevention piece. Back to that protection piece. This is all about protecting your liabilities, the risk mitigation factor that comes into play with these video solutions, so that you have the proof you need when an incident occurs for fast resolution of those things. And then the performance angle. Again, just improving the performance of your drivers will create a safer overall fleet and improve your reputation in the community and out on the road. So that is what I have today for everyone. Amit, I'll let you take over and we can open up for Q&A.
Yes, thank you, Jeff. And let me first take everybody to your solution card on the marketplace. So I put the link of the Protective Marketplace in the chat window. So in case anybody wants to navigate to it, please do so. But once you get to the Protective Marketplace, there's a few different ways to get to the VidFleet solution. You can either go to the search bar and type in vid, and the first solution will pop up. That's one way to get there. Another way would be to go to the camera and ADAS category on the left side here on the Protective Marketplace. When you get to that category, then you'll have a bunch of solutions listed there. But obviously, we are talking about the VidFleet solution today. The solution card for that would be here. As you go through the solution card, you'll see a short description. There's a who is it for? Clearly, as you can see, these guys serve the needs of the heavy truck industry and different verticals in the industry. So it is certainly something that would be applicable to you. A little bit more details on the solution. There are some videos here that you can watch to understand a little bit more about the solution. And then under the resource section, you have 4 documents that provide more insight as to what the solution is about and the value proposition and such. So that's how you can get to the VidFleet solution. Now, in order to contact somebody from the team, you would click on request info button here and go through a simple 3-screen wizard that at the end of which you will press a button called request info, and that information will go to Jeff and his team, and they will reach out to you in order to give you more details on the solution. So folks, that's basically what we have as far as presentation is concerned. Let's go to the Q&A. And in terms of Q&A, one of the questions, Jeff, we have for you is, so in case somebody has a different telematics solution, can they still come to you to purchase the VidFleet solution, or they have to have the GPS Trackit telematics solution in order to take advantage of that?
Yeah, great question. Ours is paired with our GPS tracking solution, so it's kind of a proprietary solution. So you would need to be a GPS Trackit telematics customer before onboarding our video solution.
Is that where you get the harsh braking events and things of that nature that you were showing earlier, insights into all that for providing the coaching?
Yeah, it's part of it, right? We work in conjunction with the GPS. The camera has its own accelerometer and gyroscope in it as well. So we're comparing the two, right? Trying to find the single best source of truth for the client. It also, having our tracking solution also offers benefits of the other telematics offerings we have for engine connected devices, for accurate data, for odometer, for state mileage reporting, for diagnostic trouble codes and things of that nature. And then what we work to create within the GPS Trackit platform is a single pane of glass for all your needs, whether it be GPS, asset tracking, as well as our VidFleet solutions. So currently you would need our GPS tracking device as well. We have future plans for camera as GPS, where that would open up an avenue where you could have a secondary GPS provider potentially.
Okay, and the timing of that is TBD at this point?
TBD, yeah, I'd say within the next quarter or so.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. In terms of, there was something about simple plug and play. Is there a professional installation required for the VidFleet solution, or is that something you can do on your own?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Great question again. That is a solution that you can install yourselves. I'm no mechanic, guys. I've installed this in my Chevy Silverado. It took me about 15, 20 minutes, butted up really nicely along the headliner. Wires are hidden. It looks like clean and professional install. So very simple plug and play option there. You can hardwire the solution as well. You can also, we have quick fuse adapters. So 3 different ways you can install this solution. The beauty of what we do is you're absolutely more than welcome to use professional installation, and we'll work with coordination and put you in touch with one of our certified and preferred installers to make that transition and that installation process very quick and easy for you guys. But with a self-install, unlike some other vendors, that does not void our warranty. Our warranty is intact, whether you use a professional installer, your own in-house mechanic, or you do it yourself.
Fantastic. In terms of cameras, can you have multiple outward-facing cameras, or is it just one? And if so, does it work in tandem with each other to provide a 360 view?
Yeah. So we're on the verge of releasing our third view camera for an auxiliary view. So that could be used on the back of a trailer. It could be used for a side view. It could be used for a cargo area view. It could be used for whatever view you want from a third perspective. So you would have in effect then a nice clean road view, a full in-cabin view, as well as a third auxiliary view option. And that is TBD as well, but I imagine by the beginning of Q3 we'll have that released also.
Okay, fantastic. Now, in terms of the AI capabilities, and especially as the cameras are facing the driver, you mentioned you guys are tracking obviously distracted driving, but drowsy driving and things of that nature. Is there any issues you have run into in terms of gaining consent from the driver to deploy such solutions? Or are there some issues around privacy, for instance, that you guys have run into?
No, that's another great question. We've definitely heard that before. Another nice thing about our solution is it's highly configurable. So in those specific cases, what we can also do is turn the driver stream off and just have a clean road view only stream. The somewhat benefit to that is you still have kind of the psychology of the camera there, but it is in fact not recording. It is in fact only recording the road stream there. From the privacy angle, yeah, we've run into that specifically in unionized companies in the United States. That's just a rule. We can't do that. So we have seen that angle. And then some of the tandem crew driving, they want the privacy of the sleeper berth and all that as well. So definitely a question that we've encountered, but we have an alternative for a road view only for those instances that it's a requirement from a union or otherwise.
Thank you. In terms of pricing, we saw one price on the solution card. So is this a bundle pricing, and is there a certain amount of length of contract you have to sign for that bundle pricing?
Yeah, absolutely. So our standard term for the bundled pricing to include the hardware, so you have no CapEx expense up front, is going to be that $39.95 mark for our higher end product. It will scale based on volume. It will scale based on what you choose to use, whether you just want road facing only, road facing and in cab, if you're going to add an auxiliary, or if you're going to take that kind of big step up to the full blown driver AI solution. We also have a base camera model called our Bid Fleet 1. It is just purely for kind of that protection angle, accident proof. It does a little bit of in-cab coaching with safety events like hard brakes, rapid accelerations, and hard turns, but it does not offer that kind of advanced level of external ADAS for close follow and tailgating and forward collision, as well as the driver AI options and the potential for that third view option. So that Bid Fleet AI Plus is just our extremely configurable and extremely expandable solution where you can kind of create your own package that will best suit your business needs. We also offer purchase programs as well. So we're very flexible on how we do this. We found from a market competitive standpoint, majority of the market is doing these bundled programs. So we offer that, but we also do no contract programs with a purchase of the hardware and then a separate monthly fee under no contract. So ultimately what we want to give you guys is an a la carte tool to choose what setup works best for you, what setup's applicable for your business, and then from a budgetary standpoint, what makes most sense for you guys to get into a solution like this to start seeing that prevention, that protection, and that increase in performance for your business.
Fantastic. So those are all the questions we had. Thank you, everybody, for joining the webinar today. Until next time, have a great day.
Thank you, everybody.